see. Why isn't my trading view loading? What's going on over here? All right, cool. So we can start looking at these moves from the week, right? While my trading view loads up, look at these moves from the week. Let me know in the chat if you guys want to look at anything specific, as far as charts or anything. And then, from there, we'll go over the signal that I called out this today. Just go over the London and New York sessions from the week, see how the market moves, see how the charts moved, and then, we'll get going for the week. Let me see here. All right, cool. So looking at EU, I'll just go over that signal from this morning that I called out first, just so you guys kind of have an idea of what my mindset was when looking at that this morning and why I got in that trade, that EU buy this morning. And it was a combination of two things. First, I was looking at let me see. Why can't I bring it up over here? Why is this not loading? Let's see. So right, first thing when I wake up every morning, right around 8 o'clock in the morning for New York session, what do we always talk about is just putting that key line on your chart to kind of just indicate when 8 o'clock in the morning is and what you start looking for. So this was 8 o'clock right here at 8 in the morning. Looking at EU, this is what I was looking at going into this morning, right? I'm gonna get rid of this in the background too, because I just want you to see the setup. So the entry's still right there, as you can see. But this was had news this morning, which is always we always acknowledge what we have going on with news wise. So when we had that news happen at 8 o'clock, what do we see? Right, market pushed down and then it started pushing straight to the upside. So that third box is New York session open. So at New York session open over here, at New York open at 9 o'clock, 9:30, that's when just look to see, okay, where we're at in the market. We came to the downside, London pushed down. And then going into New York, we start to get this push to the upside. So then going into New York, it was just a matter of looking for a pullback and looking for, time and price. So we always like to wait till 9:30 to really find an entry and really find a setup if you aren't already in a trade by then. So when I saw that, I was looking for the pullbacks and it kind of didn't pull back to where I wanted to. But when I came in, I was looking at looking at the trade room and everything as well. And like you said, with the trade room is cool because it's just a stream. It streams 24/7, so you can kind of pop in and out whenever you want. And I mean, you can keep it open. I saw a couple people were in there like all night, all morning and whatnot, because you can kind of just watch the charts and, and just follow the market. So as we saw for London session, it dropped heavy to the downside. And then going into New York, I already see that I had that marked up, but it was just straight bullish momentum going into New York session. So that was, I was looking at New York was only going to be looking for buys essentially with, with EU. So then when I came over and saw, 9 o'clock, 9:30, see that entry's right. That entry is right here. It wasn't necessarily a pullback all the way into where it really wanted it to, but it gave that bullish momentum, popped the trade, stop loss under there. I think it was about like a 25 pip stop loss, and then let it ride out. And as we could see, for the rest of New York session, it was pretty much like right in the profit. Ended up hitting Asian high, get out that trade, and it was a great, trade for the day with looking at EU. So we look at GU, it was something very similar with GU as well. London session dropped to the downside, and then going into New York, we just had straight bullish momentum, and it was kind of just a matter of, if you pulled an entry and you were comfortable with it, using your risk management, and then you're able to just ride that bullish trend out for the day. And the reason that you would have played that buy is because of what mainly? Looking at the 1 hour time frame, what was GU if we look back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days? You always do your 5-day look back when looking at your charts, right? So if we look back the last 5 days, GU was bullish. GU was bullish, and what it push up to. So during New York session or London last night, more so, it dropped to the downside, made that retracement, respected structure, and then got a straight bullish push to the upside. So they look very similar. It was literally just like a matter of, it was just a matter of following the momentum in the market more than anything going into New York session and playing it that way. If you played those London shorts, they were decent trades, but I wasn't even up for London last night. Up for London last night to even trade at London or look at anything during London session. But looking at GU, same thing, right? Just straight bullish momentum session, and it's kind of just following the move and just knowing where you're looking to take profit and having a trading plan. So that's why I advise you guys to, like, if you're trading on MT4, whatever the case may be, just to, maybe use like an expert assistant. I'll send out the file in the free chat. It's pretty easy to set up for you guys, or if you guys want it more, so I'm not going to send it out in the chat, but if you guys want this file, it's free, on the marketplace on MT4, but I can send it to you easier through Telegram. and you can download it on there. But every time you get in a trade, it just automatically sets your stop loss and take profits. So you kind of just discipline yourself to, get out of trade when you want to be out and get in, and to hold your trade through. So you practice with your risk management. And if you win more trades than not, and you have a positive risk to reward, you're going to be positive. You're going to have positive weeks and positive months. So that's looking at EU and GU. Looking at SPX, they were kind of all very similar, right? And why was that? Was because of looking at the dollar. When trading EU, GU, anything USD related, you want to look at the DXY as well, because it's going to tell you a lot of what's going to happen with those, with your USD pairs. And this is kind of why you just would have pulled that trigger. You would have pulled the trigger on those trades this morning, like EU and GU, even though they didn't give out major pullbacks. If you were looking at the DXY and you're looking at the dollar index, it came and it did what over here at this high? Let me get rid of for one, I mean, it's inside of our trading zones, inside of our levels and whatnot that you want to be in. But even just looking at market structure and just knowing your liquidity and how the market works, right? What do we have happen right there is this was news at 8 o'clock in the morning this morning. We had news at 8:30. This was that news at 8:30. It pushed up and it took out these highs. So it already took out these highs during London right here. Took out that weekly high. This was the high of the week. This is where we opened the market up at. This was a previous high right there. And if we even zoom out a little bit more, we had this high. We could even extend that high all the way through, right? It came back and reached and took out two of these major highs from 2 weeks ago, from I don't know what date that was, the 20th or the 19th and the 20th. It looks like on the DXY last Friday, Thursday and Friday. This Friday, the market pushed up super strong, right? After clearing out the lows. Just look at it. It's literally like a back and forth pattern. It cleared out the lows. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, it cleared out the lows, pushed all the way up. Oh, let me get them out the way, bro. Wednesday, it pushed all the way up. Thursday, it pushed up. And then what happened on Friday? It pushed up Asian and London. And then for New York, it took out those highs. And after it took out those highs, it dropped straight to the downside. So after that took out those highs like that, and you look at EU, what did EU do? And the bigger, it took out these lows, or it actually just tests these lows pretty much perfectly, and then bought up from there at 8 o'clock, which would have been a nice entry if you were up for that news to pull an entry down there. And then same thing with GU. And GU actually didn't clear out the lows, right? So EU test those lows, GU respected structure and took off. But all of, like we talked about, the reason that you would have trusted those buy entries was because looking at the DXY, it took out those highs right there after giving out that super strong push and then gave a straight drop to the downside. And then if you're looking at SPX, that's the reason why SPX, NAS, US30 and everything were so bullish today and yesterday, were mainly because of the DXY dropping down so hard. So as we saw today, the last couple of days with US30, NAS, all the indices, they were just great pushes to the upside. Like they were just pretty much a runaway shots. And that's why sometimes you just have to, sorry for that noise in the background. But that's why sometimes, you just have to trust your trades and just be really patient when looking for your entries. So give me, let me make sure we're good here. So like I said, so even looking at this morning, that's why, like I said, a lot of people will always, you'll see people online, at least in the say that people always, have one thing to say about different styles of trading or how you should trade, how you shouldn't trade. It's really more so what's comfortable with you and just, being comfortable. Like being comfortable with knowing your trading style, how you like to trade, and then what works for you as far as, what works for you with just seeing the chart visually. Because that's what trading is. Like it's just a game. It's just a game. That's at the end of the day, it's like a game, right? You either win or you lose at the end of the day. Some people don't like using the word lose because it's like, it's a negative term, but that's the truth of it, right? Lessons come with losses. We learn lessons and losses, but the truth is, it's just a game. We win or we lose. You either, that's how you do it. So when you're doing that, everything is like, what matches up best for you. And the reason why I do like using systems and I do like using, in a sense, indicators or things that can help you with trades is because mentally it will give you it will take off a lot of the stress when, things make sense. And sometimes when you're just looking at candlesticks, I made the mistake of so long of just, literally just trading with candlesticks and always just trying to, be the best price action trader you can be, because that's what people were preaching for so long that, I kind of went outside of what I knew was working and was kind of listening to what everybody else was saying, price action, don't use indicators, don't use this, don't use that. But none of that really matters what everybody else says. It's more so what works best for you, right? So like looking at Nas this morning and like even these moves from the last couple of days, if you're looking at these trades and you're looking, you're looking to get in, everything is about patience. So we always talk about like Nas. There's no point of trading Nas during Asian session. You're not gonna get volatility in the movement that you want during Nas during Asian session. So you're almost like gambling in that sense, right? When people say trading is gambling, if you're not doing things properly, it is gambling. But when you're doing things properly, it's nowhere near gambling. Like, it's something that can change your life. And that's not considered gambling. Gambling won't change your life, but learning a skill and doing things the proper way will change your life. But with that comes patience, discipline, practice. Really our 3 Ps that we always talk about: patience, practice, and profit. That's like, that's our PPP: patience, practice, profit. So looking at Nas, even during London sessions, sometimes you can catch moves with Nas during London, but you have to have, you have to have great confirmations. And even if you're going to trade Nas during London, potentially, you would want some type of movement pre-London during Asian session in this breakout box, because that's all we consider Asian is the breakout box. I just have mine's highlighted, but it's just a breakout box. That's all that is. So with a breakout box, right? With the breakout boxes, it's just money sitting at the top and money sitting at the bottom. So during London and in New York, that's where the money is attracted to, and that's what they're going to go for before they make their move, right? So what do we see happen right here is all the money up here is left at the top. So they start attracting towards the bottom. First, right here is New York or London open, sorry, at 3 a.m. Second box is 3 a.m. Third box is 9 o'clock in the morning. When do we want to trade NAS100? At number 1, 2, or 3? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you're able to, if you're not driving or anything and it's safe for you. Let me know when you want to trade Nas. When's the best time to trade Nas at? Number 1, number 2, or number 3, right? So it's a USD pair, right? So if we're trading a USD pair, specifically the indexes, the most money that's going to be pumped into that market is going to be 3 for New York session starting at 9 o'clock. So that's when you're really going to start, looking for your setups, and you're going to really look to trade Nas. Everything else before that is just like it's setting up for a show, setting up for the show that's going to happen at 9:30 in the morning. And it's on you. If you want to, if you're going to be profitable, it's on you to be as patient as possible until that show opens to actually, to start trying to make your money and start making moves. If you're impatient and you're trading, all night at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, damn near, you're really just, you're pre-market, you're playing in the pre-market for one. So there's still not a lot of volatility, but it's just not the right times to trade, right? And through enough back testing, you'll see that. So let's just like we said, let's back test these moves from even today. So if we're looking at this red line right here indicates 8 o'clock in the morning. This red line indicates 8 o'clock in the morning right here. So what do we see happen at 8 o'clock with Nas? At 8 o'clock, the market does what? It drops down to the downside, and it starts to hit these London lows right here. So when it's hitting these London lows, now we see this nasty, this candlestick right here that literally just goes up and down. That was news at 8:30. You always want to make sure you check news in the morning too, especially when trading in DCs, because you don't want to get caught up in news that you didn't know about, like, because then you really just don't know what's going on, for one, like when the market starts moving super fast out of nowhere. So always make sure you go through, Forex Factory first, and make sure you know what news is happening, for that day, before you even think about getting on the charts, So at 8 o'clock now, we see that it starts to move up. Everything happens really fast. We're still being patient, still being patient, still being patient. Now going into 9:30, this is when you start to look for, when you start looking for your trades and your setups. The box opens at 9 o'clock. So if every candlestick is 5 minutes, like we said, it's literally about being as patient as possible. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's 9:30 right there. What happens at 9:30? Market pushes up to the upside. It takes out those highs from your breakout range. It takes out those highs from the breakout range, that top right there. It takes out these highs right there. And then what happens right then? Straight drop to the downside, right? And when it straight drops to the downside, what happens after that? Around 9:45, 9:50. Then it comes straight to the bottom, straight to those lows. And that's why it's so important, to take profit, know what your trading plan is, because something like this on NAS100 from this high to this low is over 50 pips. And, if you guys see us trade, or you guys see anybody that trades in DCs and whatnot, people don't even catch 50 pips with NAS. People don't even catch 50, people don't catch 50 pips with NAS, but this is a great move. All you really need is a good 20 to 30 pips, and you have the right lot size, you have the right leverage. And that's why people, that's why we're pushing funded accounts so much, really, is just to get the proper leverage, because obviously you could trade NAS on a $300 account, a $400, $500, $600 account, but you can't use the proper leverage as you would with, a 50K funded or 100K funded to actually get in that trade and be happy with the profits. Because 20, 30 pips that happens is great profit, and you can make a lot of money from that, but you're never going to take profit with, minimal lot sizes, because you're always going to be going for the 100, 2, 3, 4, $500 play. Now, as it drops straight to the downside, what do we see happen after that? Then we get that super strong bullish momentum. Now, one thing I want to show you, like I said, one main reason why I was bullish on SPX, bullish on NAS the last 2-3 days was when we came over and we looked at the system, it was just indicating that everything was bullish. So those little pullbacks that we saw happen at 9 o'clock, this is 9 o'clock in the morning right here with SPX. If you're really looking at this and you're not just staring at candlesticks the whole time, it really never told you to sell once, right? And as we see, if we go look at that was NAS that we were just looking at. Let's just look at SPX real quick too. If you look at SPX, there was never a sell, right? There was never even anything that thought about selling at 9 o'clock, 9:30. It traded above our EMA, switched color at 5:30 in the morning, and then slowly consolidated. It pushed up, and 9:30 just took it straight to the upside. And it just momentum brought it up. It was no real pullback. So then even looking at NAS this morning, like I said, the sales were nice and you could have scalped it real quick, but the big money was made following the trend and getting in with those, getting in with the buy and just following the trend when looking at that. So same thing if we're looking at NAS was a little bit more choppy. NAS, like we just looked at, NAS was a little bit more choppy this morning, but the moves were all there. So this was 9 o'clock in the morning right here, pushed up. Then, like we said, this small drop at 9:30. And then after that, it was a straight bullish push to the upside, dropped back down and retraced. And where did it retrace and push back down to? Back down to those lows. And then right after that, a bullish move in the day going with the trend. And like we established, when we look at NAS, when we looked at everything on the higher time frames, they were bullish. So the sales were all just minor pullbacks. And when you look at the 1 hour time frame and you look at the higher perspective, there was nothing that would have indicating you to really be that confident in selling this off, right? We had our push right there, but even just coming from yesterday's moves. Yesterday, NAS went crazy. Straight bullish momentum, no pullbacks. And looking at this right here, this is looking at NAS again, just that same way. There was no pullbacks. You go into 9 o'clock, 9:30. It was very minor pullbacks at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Where's yesterday? This is today. Asian. Here's yesterday right here. Look at 9 o'clock, 9:30 yesterday. It just faked like it wanted to sell. It was just consolidated, and we can even go candle by candle. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is our 30-minute right here. This is 9:30. And you can see even at 9:30 what happened. Nas was just kind of being patient, and it didn't really make any real moves yet. And that's like the discipline of, not forcing a setup and just waiting for the trade to come to you. Because when you're just looking at candlesticks, you really do try to, a lot of people, it's just why a lot of people end up quit trading is because people want to be right. People don't like to be wrong. Everybody wants to be right. And that's kind of what, reading candlesticks kind of leads into, playing the right or wrong game. But when you're using some type of system or something that can, help you read the markets. And, like we said, these are looking at Hikinashi candles. So if we're looking at these candles, we're looking at momentum. We're following the trend in the market. So, oops, didn't mean to do that part. Oh, why am I drawing? So like we said, just looking at yesterday, it was just straight bullish momentum. And this trade ended up pushing up for over 266 pips, which is just crazy when looking at NAS, SPX and everything. So it's some really clean moves the last couple of days. We're looking at those. Might not have been the cleanest like entries as far as, trying to get the perfect entry. But if you're just following the trend, following the market, there was, those plays were right there for you. So we went over that EU signal that I sent out this morning and just kind of gave you guys an idea of what the signals can look like, between my signals, Ciara signals, the signals that the system automates, that the system calls over here. And that's pretty much what everything is based off of, though, is, that's like I showed you guys earlier with the EU trade. That's what things will be based off of. So I'll try to, do the best with sending out, charts when I send out my signals to the signal group. To send out a chart and just, show you guys why I took the trade or whatever the case may be. But those would just be simple examples, right? Just following the market, following the trend. And it's not always about just trying to get the best entry is what, the whole point of getting that over there. So we looked at EU, we looked at GU. Are there any other pairs that you guys want to look at that we might not have looked at that you guys trade? Let me know in the chat if there's anything specifically you guys trade that you might want to look at or check out over there on the system or anything like that. Let me see. GJ, I got you. Yeah, GJ, I don't know what was, did we have news? So we had 12 a.m. JPY news, then 2:30 a.m. JPY news, New York or Asian session JPY news yesterday too. So looking at looking at GJ too, it's just GG's is probably like one of the most popular pairs of trade. And I was listening to, I forgot who I was listening to, something on the news that I was watching, and they were talking about currencies and everything, and GJ being like one of the top most traded pairs in the world. So they're mainly talking about that because GJ gives out like crazy manipulation, and because it is like one of the heaviest pairs traded, right? So when trading GJ, we know that it's just about a matter of, GJ's like the same thing, and that's kind of why I've been trying to stray everybody into just doing what's comfortable for them and doing what's comfortable for them, because not every entry is about trying to be perfect, right? It's not about trying to be perfect with the entries more than it is just about trusting yourself, trusting yourself and having your confluences and just not rushing a setup, not rushing a setup, not rushing a trade, and just letting things come to you when you see them. Because if we're just even looking at GJ, for example, all this week, this was Monday to start off right here. So since Monday, we pushed up a little bit, and we just, we pushed up on Monday. Tuesday, we pushed to the downside and traded back towards these lows right here. After it traded back towards those lows, it was basically a bullish, obviously it was bullish push all the way up after that, but it really never gave out like a true entry, really all week with looking at GJ, right? They didn't really give out a true entry when looking at that. So that could have been a little bit harder to trade when looking at the 5-minute or 15-minute time frame. Now, if you're looking at the 1 hour, we could have potentially brought up a fib from like that low to this high right here. And even then, you still might not have got an entry with GJ this week. And it would have just been more so of kind of just pulling the trigger. And let's look at, I don't actually have GJ I took GJ off, but let's look at it. Let's look at it over here too, because that might be a pair that, and this is kind of an example for everybody on the call and even for the recording and whatnot of what the trade room looks like and what you'll see in the trade room. We're streaming the system 24/7, so it's no need to be worried about having your computer open or being worried about having to be around your computer or running a VPN or not being around. As long as you have your phone, then you're able to basically look at the system all day, at the most important times to trade. I say 24/7 in the things, but you guys know, obviously the market's not open 24/7. That's just more so to say that, it's open at all times when trading and everything. So you can just pop in, hop out, and just see the setups, what you're looking for. So looking at GJ last night, I don't see any setup when looking at it really like going into London session or New York yesterday, right? I don't really see a real setup with looking at GJ going into anything when I'm just looking at straight pure price action. But now if I'm looking at this last night and I'm looking at GJ going into, London session last night, what do we see happen over here is we're bullish on GJ, right? So we know we're looking for buys, and then we see that we have that bearish momentum coming into 12 o'clock. This is 12 o'clock in the market right here. What happens right at 12 o'clock? We get a signal push to the upside, one, and then two, we get the momentum. We get all momentum and all bullish momentum. So if you did pop, if we were to pop a trade, going into the London session last night, we're looking at GJ, it would look something like, you would get in something like this, and then taking that, riding that bullish momentum to the upside. And let's see when London opens. London opens at 3 o'clock right here. So if this is when London opens at 3 o'clock right here, and you got in the trade based off of this signal down here, it kind of would already, you would already be in that trade and taking it to the upside. And then by the time London opens, you're kind of just you're kind of just riding it to the upside from there after London session opens. And we look, like I said, when looking at it from straight pure price action, you might not have gotten the trade because you were waiting. you were waiting for something specific to happen when looking at the candlesticks, waiting for a pullback to happen inside of here. Whatever you're looking for to happen, waiting for to happen price action wise, it never happens. And then like we said, we just see that gradual push, which stopped a lot of people from getting in the trades, in the buys. And then it really just, it killed all the sellers last night because people are like, oh, it pushed up pre-market. What are we going to try to do now? Short it. And then it just continues. We can see that, it was no true bearish momentum in that market at all. Yeah, GJ just collected orders and then, pretty much ran from that level. So that's looking at that 500 level. Yeah. So that's looking at GJ, and just like I said, one reason why I like systems and I like systems and benefit of like the trade room and things like that is it can just help you with your price action, honestly, and just getting in trades and taking setups based off of the momentum in the market and how the market is just moving in that sense of things. So that's we kind of looked at all our main pairs, gave you guys an overview of what the trade room looks like and what we're looking at in the trade room. You guys saw this morning, if you're in the chat, you guys saw the signal that I sent out this morning. So that'll just be a kind of an idea of what to expect in the signals chat between, me. I think Ciara just hopped on the call too, between me, Ciara, Branden, and whatnot in that signal group. So like I told you guys, I was stopping the mentorship on my own to kind of, in a sense, join another group, join somebody's mentorship that I trusted for one and to be a part of. And then we all trade alike. So it's kind of like a match, it worked perfectly as far as us, everybody working together and everything. So you guys, like we said, I hope you guys enjoyed that signal. A couple of you guys told me that you guys did take that EU trade this morning. And obviously, we hit all take profits with that, which was beautiful. So I'll try to send out a couple of these in here in the free channel throughout the week. But, if you guys want the consistent signals and everything, then follow our new page or, follow the new page. I tagged it in the group. I'll send it in the Telegram again. Very much appreciated. You guys follow the new page. And then let's see. I think we pretty much looked at all our main pairs, GU, GJ, gold. Oh, I don't know if we looked at gold, but we looked at 30. We looked at SPX. We looked at NAS. What's up, Ciara? How are you?
Good, you?
Good.
If you don't mind, I'll go over the NAS setup. NAS and US30 setup that I took today.
Go. Yeah, that would be beautiful because you killed Nas and 30 the last couple of days. So let me stop sharing my screen. I'll let you share yours and go. You can show I'm recording it too, so that's perfect.
Okay.
I got you. You should be good to go.
Okay. Let's see. A second.
Okay, you good. There was some real clean moves in the week. You just traded NAS and US30 this week?
Yes, I just got back on to US30. Okay. I literally didn't trade US30 until what was it? It was like last year in March. That was like, I would say April. I'm just back getting on US30. And honestly, okay, the signal's been really just, helping me to have that confidence to get back into it. Because I promise you, I done blown so many accounts with US30. It's not even funny. It's not.
Yeah, US30.
I done blown so many accounts with US30. I had just went with NAS because I would hear you will always talk about NAS and how clean NAS is. And then I watched this other YouTuber named Doyle, and he actually trades NAS too. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's clean. So hey guys, hey everyone. I'm Ciara. If you guys don't know who I am, me and Branden are so grateful that Mike has given us this opportunity to be able to teach to you guys, to be able to offer, mentorship and signals as well. So I like to, I'm just the same as Mike. I like to go over the market with you guys, to have you guys to understand, a perspective of what the market is actually doing, repetitively throughout the week. So that way you can have that skill in the back of your head, right? So pretty much looking at NAS and US30 are pretty much the pairs that I like to trade indices. So I'll just go over it briefly with you guys so you can see, what my mindset is with trading, right? So looking at the beginning of the week, let me see, what was Monday? Monday was the 24th. So let's go back right here. So Monday was the 24th, right? So pretty much the market has been selling off for a good minute since what? April 14th. The market has been selling off for a good minute. And a lot of that has to do with banks, recession, and everything like that, right? So what I've seen, what I like to do is I like to look at the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame is basically gonna tell me everything I need to know, what's going on in the market, and basically where the market is looking to drop. So the previous week before, I had boxed off this area to my students that basically had a lot of consolidation in the market. So if you look at where NAS was actually, at a standstill, there was no type of movement. If you look at what was actually going on, it was actually a down, up, down, up, down, up. And I was playing this off every single day. Even though it was in consolidation, I was playing this move out every single day, because if you look at the patterns of what the market is actually doing, I like to call it matching energy, where the market, whatever happens, where the market actually does this huge, tremendous buy, is going to come back and take it that 50 to 75%. Sometimes it usually just takes it back all the way. So for example, on this day right here, this was CPI, and I remember this vividly. This was CPI. You can see how CPI had actually did go ahead and buy up, clear out these highs to the left. And then literally within the next hour, it went ahead and took it all the way back and then some, taking out the previous lows into the market. You could also see that there was consolidation to the left of this as well. If I box this off, you'll be able to see that there was consolidation and there was an actual breakout of this consolidation, which was these lows over here. So look at how many times there was so much resistance until the price broke out of the zone down here, and took out the lows, took out these lows since what? April 6th. Look at how many times there was rejection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth time was the actual time that it actually did break through it. Same scenario right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth time it broke out of that consolidation. I was eating off of this every single day. I like to call it matching energy, because the market is literally, because what we as millennials use matching energy is that if someone doing something to you, you're doing it back to them. And that's how I like to see the market, right? Because the market is literally doing the exact same thing with what the selling does. It comes and buys it back up. Sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. Literally been a pattern. It's been so easy to even predict this on a daily. I'm like, okay, well, it's sold today. Well, it's going to go ahead and buy back tomorrow, right? Now, looking at where we were for the beginning of the week, from all this selling, right? Overall, from all this selling, the market has to come in what, like the market terms, Forex terms is basically called market retracement. Market retracement is basically, after a huge sell-off like this, the market has to go back normal and actually retrace itself to basically act normal again and take back all of what it sold off, because the market is just not going to keep selling like this. It's definitely going to have it to be recovered. So looking at what we were looking for during the week, this was the beginning of the week right here. Well, the 24th. So we had, the market was very much on a bearish trend. So what I like to do, I like to look on the 1 hour time frame, and then I like to go on this chart. And if I see that these candles are below this white 200 moving average, that's what I like to identify first. Okay, I'm in a sell trend. If I'm in a sell trend, I'm looking for a price to sell and take out previous lows. That's just automatic. That's the first thing you want to identify, because you want to trade with the trend. The trend is your best friend. Trading with the trend, I promise you, you'll be in more profit than you would going against it. I promise you that. So looking at where we are, identifying that you're in the sell trend, you want to look to the left to see, for example, on this day right here, you want to look to the left to see, okay, what actual, let's go to the 24th. You want to look to the left to see what lows are to the left that need to be cleared out. That's your second identification before you even get into the market. Okay, well, if the market is selling, is looking to do one thing, take out lows. If it's looking to take out lows, you look to the left of where it could have been a day or two, maybe 5 day look back. Might tell you guys a 5 day look back as well. But the 1 hour time frame is going to put in perspective for you guys to be able to see all the levels that needs to be broken, or I like to call it my friends coming back to say hi to each other. My friends said coming to say back hi back to each other. Okay, so you can just literally see that this right here in time, like I said, time and price plays a huge factor in it too, because the indices moves very smoothly during the New York session. And you can see that you're in the sell trend. Okay, you're in the sell trend. Look at this 10 o'clock candle. This 10 o'clock candle, and it was news on that day too. So that made it even better, because Mike just told you guys to pay attention to news. That way you can know what's going on. That way you can know what's going on. Literally, at 10 o'clock, you're already with the sell trend. It just sold down beautifully. Right, and it came right back down to these lows and took out these lows. So my take profit would have been at the very first low in the body of the candle, and preferably at a quarter point. If you guys don't know what the quarter points are, it's basically every 25 pips in the market. Every 25 pips in the market. If you're looking to set your take profits, right, you set it at quarter points, because those are basically institutional levels where the banks look to set their take profits in the market as well. So I like to set it at a quarter point, anywhere between the body of the candle and actually on the quarter point. So that would be, let's just say right here, I would set my take profit at 129.50, and that could have been just my first take profit for the day. If I really looked at where the market actually did sell previously before, this was the second take profit. And then you can see that the market came there no problem. The market came there no problem. And that's how I'm able to read it very fluently, because like I said, whatever happened to the left is going to happen to the right, whether it's really off of being in a buying trend or a sell trend. Because like I said, the same thing with buying, the market is looking to take out previous highs as well, right? So that's just one example, right? So after that, I think Thursdays are literally the smoothest and cleanest days for you guys to it's so smooth, right? So after seeing so much of a bearish week, the market has to come back and retrace. And you can see that how the market actually did go back and actually go above the 200 moving average. So we were officially up in the uptrend. So if you're up in the uptrend and you see that vividly, where are you looking to take your buys to, right? Because the market has to recover all of this of what it sold off. It's not just going to keep selling like that. It's not. It's going to recover it. Okay, it's going to recover it. We're in a buy trend, so you're looking to take buys to the left. Look at this, the highs that is clearing out. Buy. It came and took out this next high right here, this next high right here, this next high right here. And I kid you not, before it was 9 o'clock this morning, when I opened my eyes, I already knew where the market was going just off of looking to the left. Look at how today, the momentum of where the market actually did go ahead and push up to, it actually came and took out these highs way back from April 4th. From April 4th. Does that make sense? You're in the uptrend, so you're looking for buys. The market is not going to go in the uptrend and not take, look to take out previous highs. It's not going to keep doing that. And it's clear as day. It's really clear as day. Even on the 4-hour time frame, you can see a little bit more clear. Look at how the market had this huge spike up, and these highs got taken out, no problem. Like I said, going with the trend is your best friend. I don't care, even if you are a new or unexperienced trader, if you just see what's happening to the left, I promise you that it's just going to literally be the reflection of what's going on currently, as long as you're going with the trend. Above the candles are above the white 200 moving average, you want to look for your buy setups. And just like how Mike was saying, just to give you guys, if you guys don't have the signals as yet, the signals are fire. But if you don't have the signals as of yet, look at what he was explaining to you guys too, the Asian box. The Asian box is literally where you could have even took an entry from at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, you seen price come above the breakout zone right here, which is the Asian high. And that's literally your entry. You even off of the break and retest, right? Because a lot of people know to trade break and retests as well. So even if you had took a buy up here If you didn't catch it at the Asian high, if you took a buy up here at the break and retest, you still would have been in profit. Because guess what? Price was looking to come take out these highs over here, which was technically yesterday's highs. Technically yesterday's highs. Yeah. So yeah, so that's really literally how I look and read the market, because it was clear as day. And then even US30, you can see the same structure. US30 does move in higher increments than NAS100. However, you can see the same setup was still very similar. It sold off. The market has been in a lot of consolidation for the last couple of the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, the market has been in a lot of consolidation. Finally broke out, dropped to the downside, and took out these previous lows to the left, right? Because we was in a sell trend. After the market actually did go above the 200 moving average and got into a buy trend, then you can see, okay, well, where am I looking to take my buys at? Where am I looking to take the buys? You looking to the left to take these. Like I said, Branden know this morning, I done told him where the market was going, and he already knew. We already knew it was going. So if you look at the bottom, look at what I totaled out with what today. $7,267. Okay. So I'll go over to the signal so you guys can see exactly how it really just aligns with everything that we're looking to provide to you guys. That way it can take the stress off of trading, and it's so much easier for you guys to just like rock with these signals, right? So let's see. I'll show you guys what really gave it away. Let's see, US30. Okay, so there was a news reporter at 8:30 a.m., right? There was a news reporter at 8:30 a.m. I personally don't like to trade before 9:30. I like to wait till the banks are open. So there was a news folder at 9 a.m. I'm sorry, at 8:30 a.m. And it was a red folder. So it was an unemployment PCE. That was the news folder that came out. So there was a signal that came out at 8:30. So it literally wicked a little bit, and then it kept going into profit. Like literally, you would have been in profit up until, since it alerted for you to buy. If you just hold this until even 9:30, you would have just been straight. Okay. Look how it didn't even tell you to actually sell up until what time this was, 10:30. And then you can see that the market did go ahead and sell off since then, right? Look at how clean that was. Look at how clean that was. The market told you to buy since then, right? And it's okay if you didn't trade, if you didn't want to trade at 8:30, that's fine. I would have waited till 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, the market is a little bit more clear to me, and I'm definitely for sure, cutting out of that manipulation or whatever the case may have been. But the signals is told you anyway. And look at how many pips that this US30 trade would have been for you guys. Up until what it said, sell 349 pips. 349 pips. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Now let's just say if you didn't trade the 8:30 and took the buy there. If you wanted to sell, if you wanted to sell it, the sell did damage too. But we in the buy trend, so let's rock with the buys, right? So at 11:15, it told you to buy. 11:15, it told you to buy as well. So look at how this buy literally put you into profit, and it didn't say sell until what? 12:15. So you can't tell me that you're not riding this wave. You can't tell me you're not riding this wave easily. The signals are literally like a guide to a map, okay? If you go in blindly into the market, if you don't even know anything about the market, this will give you a little bit insight to be able to, see the market for what it is, right? So look at it. I think it's very smooth. Branden is gonna show you guys too and go over some of the setups he saw today as well. So I hand it over to him so you can go ahead and say his piece.
Okay. Yeah, how's it going? So I'll make it real quick, real quick. So I'm gonna share my screen really quickly. Yeah, so we're in here. Cool, perfect. All right, so man, y'all got the best of both worlds on both sides of this, man. So all the market knowledge that you guys just had, so looking at these with that is absolutely ridiculous. So we paired them together because it's only right for you to know exactly what's going on and exactly how to move about needs. And then if you're having any type of conversation about trading for any reason, you want to be knowledgeable and know exactly what's going on and what's behind everything. So best of both worlds for sure. So I'm gonna hide this real quick. I deal with US30. I love US30, right? I made these based on being able to take entries and then go right into profit literally in like seconds or minutes or whatever it is. And I'm always touching them up and everything as well. So what you guys saw earlier just now was the Hakanashi piece of it, right? So the Hakanashi piece of it is great. And it, gives you a general direction. Hopefully I can get this off of here. Stop highlighting stuff. Let me get this highlighted off. I don't know how to do that. Dang. All right, so let's go over to US30 real quick. Everybody's afraid of it. A lot of people are afraid of it, and I see why. I played around with it for sure. I see why. But over here, right? I want you guys to see these entries, okay? This is on the 1 minute, right? But we're on the 15 minute, on the usual, right? So with these entries on the regular candles, this is what we're looking at right here, okay? So over here, if you spread it out a bit, all the alerts, while you're in the trading room, the sounds are going off, like alerts are going off. So you have 4 different pairs and all the alerts are going off and it's telling you exactly when to pop in and pop out of these things, okay? So for US30, I made a video, I'm gonna post it in the chat. I actually back tested and seen when all of these alerts actually went off, exactly what time they went off as well. So if you look at this really quickly, let me see, let's go to current signal. Bam. All right, so these are all the alerts that went off for the day, okay? What times they went off and everything. You see the 8:30 popped off. What I usually do is I'll go to the 1 minute. I'll open this up real quick just to make sure and back test. So if somebody heard the alert go off, they can easily pop right into it without even having to question anything. So I wanted to make it as automated as humanly possible. So let's go to it. 8:30 today. 8:30:02 is when it actually sounded off. 8:30:02, here you go right here. That's pretty wiki. That's pretty wiki for sure, but it said buy overall. And usually it's going to say buy right after everything kind of settles in. All right. So let's go to the 11 one real quick. Or we're in the 1 minute. Okay, no worries. So when these things sound off, they literally go right into profit. Okay. So what we tested out and what, Ciara's been doing, she's been nice enough to actually take them as they are. She could probably tell you how long it takes for them to go into profit.
We go instantaneously in profit.
For every single time, right? So if this is going off, it's literally telling you after this wick, and when it goes into this profit right here, which is super important. All right, as you're going through, the way I'm gonna have this set up, this ghost candle is the price action, the actual price action of what's going on. So when this sell went off, it went off right here. It's at the candle open, right? So if you're on the candles and everything, and that's what you're seeing in the trading room, this is the actual price actions that you'll see on the MT4. So when this sell goes off, it literally tells you like right away, and you're probably getting in right there. When you're getting in right there, it's going to give you whatever it's going to give you. That's 102 pips off of here, right? At the same time, it's going to keep you safe because worst case scenario, if you never took your profit and you popped in right here, guess what? It told you to buy right here. So worst case scenario, it's going to keep you on track to go the right way. And then you're in that buy. Now say you popped into that buy, right? So you popped into that buy and it popped off right here. We actually looked dead at that buy for sure, right? Look dead at it. Like, all right, well, you know, we're going to chill. That buy went for 121 pips. So you go from signal to signal and you're looking at 100 and then here's 121, right? Here's the next one. This one went off. This is where it came off at. I highlighted it for sure. So you're right in the profit. It's not really pulling back anywhere. The worst pullback you see is 10 pips. Worst case scenario, if you got in there late, 7 pips, which is nothing. And then you took that and it went at 100 pips on that one as well, right? Down to the bottom of this. Then it started pulling back. Worst case scenario, hey, I'm pulling back. It drops you off at 50 pips. All right. Then the next one pops off. This one pops off and it goes, let's see what that did. 60 pips right here. Before it said, hey, look, I'm going to sell down for a few. I'm going to sell down for a few. It popped in right here. And that went off for 33 or so. But then you got the arrows right here as well. And the buy. So worst case scenario, if you didn't take profit, now you're still on the right side of this. And it's putting you at the very beginning of that. So now you're looking at this one that you popped in because it went off and it goes right into profit again. Now you hit another 93 pips, right? So it's carving up the market in a ridiculous way. Now, what you were seeing earlier is that nothing went off in here, right? Because you would have been in from here. Say you didn't get in at 8:30 and you just started looking at 9:30 as you should, for sure. This was the Asian high right here. 10 o'clock is what we say use on a regular basis. Pop in at 10 o'clock. Say there's no signal at all, right? So all you do is look at these blue average candles. These blue average candles tell you how strong or how weak the signal is at that point, right? So if you're looking at this, if you see the sell, you know that that's only a pullback. Why? Because it's still blue and it's still strong. So you can chill and then let that sell go and then pop into the buy and just ride the trend. You don't have to take that sell, but the sell is going to go into profit for sure, right? So let's go to a different time. What time is this? 2:45. This is going right into profit as well. 2:45, it goes off. You pop in just because you heard it ding, ding, ding. And it told you twice right here. Told you twice, got that. And how much is that? That's another 117. But you guys get the picture, and it's on that for all of the different pairs and everything. So this one goes off for 66. With Ciara, right now we're on a prop firm, right? With a $260,000 prop firm. We can use these for you guys to pass these prop firm challenges. Why? Because there's no real drawdown if you're just taking the signals as they are. From buy to sell, sell to buy at 10 o'clock on a regular basis. Like you can pass whatever prop firm it is. And we tell you what the risk management is that you'll need to use to actually pass those. So if you have a 50K account, we're going to tell you, hey, use this lot size, use this stop loss, and then you'll be good to go. And just take it buy to sell, sell to buy, and just relax and pop in here. That way you don't have to worry about anything on the way through. So let's look at, you guys see this all day, right? That's just US30. So this is the worst pair with the most pullbacks and everything like that, but it's telling you exactly when to pop in and exactly when to pop out, and it's going right in the profit on the dot. So I back tested this for maybe like a month and a half, and literally the average was about 300 to 400. Worst case scenario is like 200 pips a day if you're just taking buy to sell, sell to buy. So Mike shot me over the info to actually automate these, and I'll be automating them for sure so people can pop in and really dig into these. I'll go to a random day at 10 o'clock. What I say is at 10 a.m. to pass these challenges, start at 10 a.m. and literally take 3 signals a day, right? I see I marked this up already, so I'll go to a different day that I didn't, but you guys see what that is. Very low risk on that, very high reward. And then at the same time, if you're just looking at the average candles, not the ghost candles, the price action, even in this sell right here, you'll be like, oh, that's just a pullback. Why? Because it's a nice blue, strong candle. The thick ones are strong, the thin ones are weak. That's all you have to know there, okay? It still puts you on the profit, but you know that's a temporary pullback because we're looking down here, we're looking at this. So if you literally lived in here and had no idea about trading at all, this is what you do. Is it thick or is it thin? Is it blue or is it red? Sell, it's on blue. Guess what? That was temporary. Keep it moving, right? Sell, it's on blue, temporary. Keep it moving. Sell on blue, temporary. Keep it moving. Here's the arrow to tell you, hey, look, we're starting the sell trend and then we're rocking. All right. So literally is that. If I took off the actual prices of all of this, all you would be looking at is just blue or red. And that's what I would want to make everything a lot simpler, right? With these are really big, thick ones. So say you came in around this time, you're like, damn, I don't know where I can get in at. If you wait for a little pullback, you know these are really, really big and thick and the price is under it. So you can know that this is going to push down some more because it's strong as hell, because they're super thick. Now, if you pop in and you're looking at this, man, it says buy and this is on top of it. And I don't think you will want to get into that forced sell unless it says it. Right? But at the same time, worst case scenario is going to protect you, right? Even on the worst, craziest moving pairs, period. We're using an 80 standard lot. And I was looking at a challenge doing 200K challenge, and I was OD, very OD, and I was using to stress test this, and I was using 120 lot on these entries. And, you know, there were $10,000 trades and things like that. And then I went against with these. I'm like, maybe they're just temporary when I was making it. And literally they didn't lie. I promise you. All right. So I made 10 grand, made 18 grand in a day. And then, you know, went against it, stress tested, and it pulled back 10 grand. I made another 10 the next day. Right. So regardless of what, it's going to dump you in exactly what's going on. And these things, they don't lie. I went both ways on it to make sure that I can say, hey, look, when you pop into these, they're going to be going into profit. So take profit whenever you want to, but if you don't know when, guess what? Just wait until it says so, right? Whatever it is, even on the worst pair, you'll be safe, you'll be solid, and it'll be that. After 10 o'clock, I would say for any day, take 3 of them, and I promise you, you'll have at least 100 to 200 pips for the day. This is a random day, right? Boom, 10 o'clock comes, it says buy, gives you all of these pips, comes back, pulls it back. It's 10 o'clock. Boom, comes back, pulls it back, and then you come into the rest of this. Now you lit, no problem. Same thing here. You took a couple of these signals and you ate for the day. Came over here, you ate for the day, no problem. GBP USD, same type of vibes. Enter, exit, all the way down, all the way through. Asian session, whatever it is, these are going right into profit. You're not seeing a lot of pullback at all when you're popping into these. So we'll have it at that, but literally if you're just looking at these, if you're in the trading room, is it thick? Is it thin? Is it red? Is it blue? That's the only question that you're asking yourself. And when that thing goes off, it's going to go into profit. It's a question of when do you want to take profit? And I can say that confidently because I've been rocking with it for what, a few months now at this point. And even when you see these wicks, it's not going to do an entry until after the wick is done and you're going straight into those. So that's what you'll see on the regular. These things will start dinging off. Ding, 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 ding. You're going to have 4 of these pairs up at the same time. And then you'll be able to pop into whatever the heck you want to pop into. You'll just be hearing money sounds all morning if you have headphones in or whatever. And that's it. So I want you to see how that thing works. I'll pick a little video. I'll put it in there so you can see where the entries actually are, so that you know. And that's that. So it's really dynamic in that way. And knowing everything in the course on top of that, that's cheating. That's cheating. So y'all have everything that you need. You got Mike, you got Ciara. They're killing it. And for me, I'm the type of trader that'll live in these. I just wanted to maximize the amount of leverage that I can put towards each trade and know for a fact that we're going the right way. So I could live in here and not know anything about anything else, even though I do, coming from binary options, and it's been the 3rd year or so, and all of my entries and stuff like that for that was for 15-second and 7-second and 20-second type of trades where it has to do its thing in that small amount of time. So I just took all of that information and downloaded it into here so it can alert. And that's where this is what you get out of it. Cool. You guys have any questions?
I think we might be good. Everybody's still on and listening and whatnot. I appreciate everybody that did stay on the whole time and everything. You guys are always much appreciated.
So the way that you actually sign up, DM Ciara or Mike, I'll actually go to the website so you can see how that looks. Rising currency. So what you would do is you would hit shop now and you would add the course, right? This is the course and the signals put together. That's what's in this bundle. That's what it is. You need to add that to the cart. And then once you add that to the cart, you scroll down and you grab this, right? Normally it'll be $179 per month if you're going month to month, but if you have auto pay set up, then it's only $100 per month, right? If you're not making $100 out of this, it's a problem. We want you to get prop firms and take your money and get prop firms so that you can pass them and use the signals to pass the prop firms so that you can get paid what you're actually worth for being correct on a regular basis. You see, she did 7,000 and some change, and we didn't even take every signal. It popped off 40,000 yesterday. It popped off 30,000 today, and we just, nitpicked 7,000 off of it today, and nitpicked half of the day was about what, 10,000 and some change. 10,000 and some change half of yesterday. So it's been 16 grand in the last day and a half, just popping into these as they come off when we hear them, and that's it. So we wanted to be able to let you guys rock and do whatever the hell you want to do, wherever you want to do it, and hear a signal, pop it in, and be in profit on a regular basis. We want you to pay attention to everything and know everything as well. But at the same time, worst case scenario, this is going to guide you in that way. So you do that, you add that to the cart as well. And then you have everything and you check out. That's the only way that you can get access to everything. That's what it is. And you'll be on point. So if you guys have questions, reach out to those two. They're a wealth of knowledge, or me as well. And man, we'll go from there.
Thank you guys so much for getting on the call today. You're welcome.
Have an amazing one, guys, okay?
All right, have a good weekend, guys.
Appreciate everybody that stayed on. I'll send out this recording as soon as it's uploaded into the channel, and I hope everybody has a great weekend.